Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this episode of the Dan Dawson Show. So, first of all, happy Veterans Day to all those who have served, are serving, and will serve. We appreciate your sacrifice. We appreciate the sacrifice of your families. Often, families are left out. They make as much of a sacrifice as the soldiers do. It's really a hard life. You're moving every few years. So we appreciate their efforts. So I was going to do an entirely different video. Then I read some of my comments and I actually wanted to make a video reply to them from the sheepdog stand down video. We really don't have much of a choice. Because think about it. If you're out there and you're vocal, you see what the Democrats are already doing. They're putting together lists of Trump supporters and doxing them. They're already threatening jobs of people in Trump's cabinet. Oh, you won't be able to find a job anywhere else. Get real, people, get real. And if you'll look, I'm kind of already vindicated. I mean, it's not even the end of November. And I already see people on Facebook. I belong to a lot of groups. And one of my gun groups, somebody stated that they can't believe this happened. Now watch this person for months push Joe Biden. For months, pushed him. And now you can't believe that he's going to come after your guns after he very clearly and distinctively said what he was going to do. Now I have people from my beloved home state getting mad about him and Kamala are going to end fracking. You mean after Kamala and Joe Biden very clearly and distinctively said what they were going to do. See, people are now having buyer's remorse already, and he's not even in office. Could you imagine this time next year when he's put us back in all these horrible NATO treaties, when their tax dollars are being drained, when he opens us back up to the WTO, and all those manufacturing jobs that President Obama said would never come back, that Trump got back, are gone again. And I see comments like, "Hey, well, we're all going to suffer." You're right, we are. Yeah, that's kind of the whole point. I didn't make that video to have people sit back and laugh, but think about personally all the struggles you've went through in life that made you grow as a person. It's the same with a country. We're going to have to go through this struggle to grow as a country. And notice now, the left, BLM, Antifa are moving in. Well, not really Antifa. They're still burning things down. They attacked the Democratic Convention Center or whatever in Portland just Sunday. But of course, the Portland mayor let him out the very next day. And the DA said he's not going to press charges and they're free to go. So they're going to keep doing it. Holding that rattlesnake by the tail. And see, we as sheepdogs have to let it happen. Don't engage with these people. Make sure you and your family are okay. Because if you engage with them, especially for all my viewers, it doesn't matter if you're black or white. Hell, I got called a white supremacist, so. Because that's what they do. That's what they do. Like little spoiled kids. I didn't get what I want, blah, 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 blah. We as conservatives and Trump supporters do not do that. Let's not let ourselves down in that way. Now is the time to stand back and watch. You don't want to get doxxed right now because jobs are already going to be hard to find. You see, truckers are now talking about a strike because Biden wants to end fracking. In fact, I think they went on strike today, right? I wonder how many of those truckers voted for Biden knowing he was going to end fracking. Or my favorite is when the libs say, "No, he's not coming for your guns." They very clearly said that. And some of us fell for it. Well, not some of us. Some of them fell for it. Oh, he's not going to institute gun control or magazine bans. Actually, he's already trying to. It's not even the end of November. And he's already saying what he's going to do. And then if you'll notice, he made a YouTube video bragging on how all these countries called him. Well, I saw a list of the countries. And they were countries President Trump refused to give your taxpayer money to. Those are the ones calling and congratulating him. You know why they're doing that? Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Zimbabwe, places like that, right? You know why they're doing that? Because they know all that money is about to come flooding back into their country. How much damage is he going to be able to do in 8 years or 4 years? Not 8. He's definitely not getting 8. But 4 years remains to be seen. If Republicans maintain control of the Senate, maybe very little. However, we actually, if we want to end this in 4 years, need the Republicans to lose the Senate. That way they have full control. And the AOCs are going to push. Biden said, it's really funny, because I saw him in a YouTube video, and he goes, not one more foot of fence will be built under me. That's funny, because in 2006, when he was a senator, he voted a $50 billion bill in to build that fence on the border. And it's funny to me how the people most vocal about it are the people that live in northern states who are not affected by what comes across the southern border. Drugs, kids being prostituted, stuff like that. It's really funny to me. Wow. Then I was watching Tim Homan, the former head of Department of Homeland Security. I did not know this, but he was issued an order under the Obama administration to go across the country, send his agents across the country, grab these kids, deport them. Obama had a very strict immigration policy. Most people don't get that about Obama. Very strict. And he refused to do it. He refused to do it. Just flat out refused. Like, I'm not going to do that. He said he wasn't going to go take kids at gunpoint all across the country. And I guess the order was if their parents are don't want to leave or whatever, or don't have orders to be deported, take the kids back to Mexico anyway. Think about that. So for all of you who screamed about 4 years about kids in cages, you look like idiots. Really? Actually research what's going on. But of course you're not, because you're low information people, meaning either your emotions overriding you or you don't have the time. And if either one is true, that makes you low information. So it is what it is. But, and people are also upset. I'm starting to see it on Facebook now. Keep in mind, these aren't Trump supporters. These were hardcore Biden supporters over the last few months. Hardcore. They're also upset that we're going to start letting people from Al-Qaeda-controlled countries back into the country. Well, won't terrorism go up? Yes. But he said he was going to do that. So what are you upset about? Kind of reminds me of when Trump became president, because Trump was like, hey, I'm pulling us out of NAFTA, which he created something even better. And of course, Justin Trudeau called and congratulated Biden. Said Trump was a pain in their butt because they weren't sucking money off a horrible trade agreement. Because Trump pulled us out and got a new one. You know who's upset by Trump if he doesn't, or you know who's upset by Trump losing if he, doesn't pull this out? Mexico. Because Mexico understands the southern border. I like the way Justin Trudeau comments on the southern border, but lives in Canada. Man, shut up. But sheepdogs, you have to stand down. We're going to come through this as a nation, but understand, if you do not stand down, they're going to come for you. We don't want that. You know why? Because we want you there to be able to vote in the next election. I am predicting a landslide for whatever Republican runs for president in the next election. Now, that is prefaced on if Democrats win the Senate and can enact all their laws. But stand back. Come up on that hill with me. Have a beer. That hill's getting pretty packed, so you might have to bring your own beer. But come on up. Because really, what choice do you have? But yeah, no, it'll change here soon. So people don't worry. We're going to suffer a little bit. I know the sheepdog in you wants to go protect the sheep, but the sheep don't want your protection. So while you're fighting the wolves, the sheep are the ones that are going to be beating you or biting you in the back. You can't protect anybody in that situation, right? So protect yourself and your family. Come on the hill with Dan. Have a beer. We'll chop up some game. Get a couple of laughs in. So, thank you for watching this episode of The Dan Dawson Show. And if you're a veteran, thank you for your service. Like, subscribe, share, do what you got to do.